I think first thing we got to hit is what both the guys talked about earlier. I think you've seen over the last probably 3 to 4 years, maybe a little bit more than that, but in the last 2 to 3 years, 4 years, you've seen a very big push that moved away from dynamic to slow and deliberate. And it was masked. Originally, it was masked as a safer way to do things for us, right? It was, hey, this is a safer way for us to do it so we don't get shot up. And it really didn't have any change in the officers getting engaged or when the shooting actually occurred, what was going on in the room or in the structure. It didn't have a change on that, but it had the ability for a department or an agency to say, we tried to handle it this way. We tried to go very slow with this and do the surround and call out. And I agree with a lot of them where it's like, we're not here to rescue a dime bag of weed. You know, when you're doing a search warrant and it's for something that is of absolutely no violence against society, it's, you know, user generated and all these other problems. Like, why are we putting ourselves and even the subject or the suspects at risk, especially a house full where the, you know, the brother's the shithead dealing dope. He lives with grandma. He's got his younger sister that lives with him too because mom and dad aren't around. Why are we hitting that house the way we are? So it on paper, it reads really good. Like, hey, this is kind of smart. Like, we're not putting ourselves in danger. We're giving everybody an opportunity to come out. And they usually do. But when they don't, and the other people don't want to come out either, the unwitting or they're voluntarily staying in there with Junior because you guys are going to hurt him. Now you've got this own problem where gas isn't always an option when you've got the younger ones in there and the old people. You've got all sorts of restrictions going on that eventually you do need to turn it into either a very lengthy negotiation, which none of us can argue based on our rules of engagement. Well, screw them. We gave them an hour. That's enough. Go in there and kick everybody's ass. Can't do that either. It's kind of a long process to go through this. But I remember when I came on the team, every single warrant that we did was at maximum speed and nothing happened. Like, nothing bad happened. We ran into people with guns all the time. And it was, were we safe because of the speed that we moved, or were we safe because people didn't want to fight us? And we've been on slow ones where we've been shot up through the walls and just none of us got hit. And it was, well, were we safe because we did it slow and didn't get shot and didn't go in the room? Like, just the fact that we didn't get shot, we kind of make it fit whatever method we were using. So what we're seeing is on patrol crisis entries and SWAT hostage rescues, the speed is there and the ability to process it is an unknown. We don't really know what guys are processing. We know what they say they're doing when they're going at full speed down a hallway and dudes are just turning into doors. And the biggest majority of the time you get to see dudes is they have one shoot house structure and it's almost like it's autopilot. So are they processing information, or are they just going through the motions and going to a room and just doing a good job of like, oh, that piece of paper is the threat, and putting the rounds on the piece of paper? I'm getting like way too far into the weeds on it, but what I'm seeing is the push came from an idea of safety when it should have been pushed is we're no longer putting our officers and the public in danger. We're going to try to call these people out so that in court we can say we gave them every opportunity to come out. We negotiated with them, we talked on the phone, they refused to do it, and then they chose this manner of behavior. Even though that choice is no different than hitting the house at full speed and them choosing to pick up a gun and engage the officers, it plays out better in the media and in the public eye. Does that make sense?